this computer. This is the teaser intro for e-commerce podcast in 3, 2, 1. How many of you have an online store for your salon or spa? Hands up. I can't see them. All right, for those that have your hands up and you have one, how many of you are happy with your online sales today? I see a lot of hands going down. I get it. E-commerce for hair salons and spas is not easy, but the reality is that offering e-commerce opportunities in today's day and age is almost a necessity for businesses to really stay competitive and relevant because of all the different online shopping opportunities that exist for customers that include beauty products. You kind of need to have a presence there. Today, we're going to delve into the top benefits of setting up an online store, but more importantly, some tips and tricks to help you not only stimulate sales, but sustain them over time. You're just going to cut it there, Danny, before I say stay. All right, that's the intro. Now we're into the main body of e-commerce platform podcast in 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody to another episode of the Salon Scoop. Today we are going to get the scoop on salon and spa e-commerce, how to sustain and grow your e-commerce sales. Hot topic in the industry, challenging topic. I hear from a lot of salons out there that really struggle and they debate, should we have an online store or not? We have one, but it's costing us money and we're not actually generating enough revenue. If you're hearing me, you're feeling this sentiment, stick with us. We're going to delve into some of the things that you can do to better establish and grow your online store, your online sales. With me today to discuss this, I've got my obviously one and only cohort, Sarah Perrin, who's a salon owner and obviously runs an e-commerce platform for her salon, Chalk. Sarah, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Also have our resident expert today, Sarah's cohort, Edamame, a new member to the team. Show on the screen.
Say hello.
Look at this. For those who are listening to the podcast, you can't see, but Sarah's got her new puppy dog up on screen, who's become a salon dog and is quickly learning the ropes of the salon industry, and is going to be a key to online sales success. Clearly.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at that face. It can sell anything, huh? Can you sell anything?
Absolutely. Yes. Just put pictures of dogs or cute cats on your e-commerce site next to the products, and they'll sell like hotcakes.
Oh, absolutely. It's funny, actually, my clients, because I've been bringing him every day with me. So my clients are like, well, you can start charging me extra for my appointment now. And I'm like, you know what? This was the business move all along, right?
You heard it here first, everyone. All right, let's talk a little bit about e-commerce. Sarah, you have an e-commerce site for your salon company. How long have you had that up and running for?
So I feel like COVID really put the fire under us to get, our e-commerce running and everything. So we were lucky enough, we had the bones kind of set up for our e-commerce site because we just opened in 2019. So we had kind of rebranded, got our website set up, got our e-commerce, and then literally March 2020, it was like, all right, let's get this up and running because it's the only way that people are going to be able to support the business, right? Yeah. So over COVID, actually, we found our e-commerce site to be very successful. Like almost the entire shutdown, we were having, daily orders that we were delivering and everything like that too. So yeah, it's been, just over 3 years that we've had it. And it's kind of been, it kind of ebbs and flows. Like we definitely have times where we find it super successful and we've got great sales with it. And then there's other times where all of a sudden 3 months have passed and you haven't made a single sale. So I would say the biggest thing with us is just remaining consistent with it because it is kind of its own beast, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you're not alone. Most salons out there set up some kind of, e-commerce platform during COVID to kind of get them through. And once they opened up again and they sort of got back to normal from the salon standpoint, their e-commerce went dormant because nobody was talking about it. Nobody was focusing on it. So, I want to preface our conversation today by saying, to me, the most important part of actually running a successful online store or e-commerce, program for your business is that you have to treat it like it's its own arm of your business, right? So you've got your service side of your business. You've got your in-salon retail, right? And you need somebody to be thinking about that. And now you have your online retail, and you kind of need to have a dedicated person who's thinking about that. You don't need a full-time person who's only dealing with the online store, clearly, but you need somebody has to have it under their responsibility to be constantly thinking about developing a plan, right, that lasts 12 months of the year for the online store and incorporates a lot of what we're going to talk about today, because it's easy to think of one-off promotions or things that you can do on social media, but if it's not part of a long-term plan, you're not constantly focusing on it and having a communication plan to keep consumers constantly sort of aware and engaged, then clearly you're not going to have success. Think about online sales giants like Amazon, obviously, but just think of all the other companies that you might do online shopping with in other industries, how you're probably constantly receiving notifications, emails from them about stores, about discounts, about special offers. They are constantly driving that, so you can't sort of stay out of it. You're part of that cycle. And that's what you need if you really want to be successful with your online sales at the salon and spa level. So I'm going to start with a couple of quick tips, and then Sarah, we're going to delve back into some of your experience and maybe some tricks and tactics to grow sales. But more top line, I think it's important to, from a user experience, recognize that your website is the entry point for this. And it's important that you have a great user experience, right, for a consumer who's coming to your website, that right away your website speaks about your salon, it speaks about your services, it speaks about your team, but you want to make sure that it's obvious that it's also a shopping destination, right? And that you have clear, either you have maybe some banners that are featuring some of your promotions that people can click on to enter into your online store, different buttons at different places in your site. But then once you get into the store portion of the site, that it's very simple navigation, right? People want it needs to be easy for them to browse, to find, if they might be looking for something specific, that they can quickly find that, or if they're browsing, that's a very natural, straightforward process to find the products. And then obviously the checkout process has to be very quick and easy as well. People don't want to waste time, when they're online. So make sure that you really, really factor that in to the process. Get different people to sort of use it and give you feedback, and maybe make some updates to make sure that you're making it as smooth as possible to navigate your online store. Second tip I would mention is using social media marketing, right, to reach more people. If you're having an online store, you don't just want to target your existing salon clients, right? They should be buying products when they come to visit, the salon for services anyways. You want to expand your reach, right, to new potential consumers, right, in your geographic territory, and you can expand that quite a bit. So utilizing Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, really excellent opportunity to reach more consumers. And often you can do this through ads, right? Social media ads, paid advertising on these platforms. We certainly have, several resources in place to either help you, or we've got some past, podcasts and blogs on our website if you want to learn a little bit more about some social media advertising opportunities. Then finally, you want to think about customer service, right? People are going to have questions. You want to make sure there's a really positive customer experience, right? When they have questions. You want to make sure that somebody's on top of it and can respond quickly. If they have an issue and they need to make a return, you want to make sure that that process, right, is very easy for them, not complicated. That's one of the things that Amazon has done that people love so much. It's just so easy to return something that, now you don't even need to repackage it. And sometimes in certain geographic areas, you set up someone, they just come to your house to pick it up. Doesn't even need to be in a box, right? So we're not saying that you need to have the same policies as Amazon, but we are saying that you need to have really, really easy and just fantastic customer service when it comes to questions, when it comes to payment options. Make it easy. A good thing is maybe having an FAQ page, right? Frequently asked questions, where all the different things that people might question, you can at least have it clearly indicated. That might reduce the amount of questions and back and forth that you have with customers, because obviously time is always a big factor when it comes to a salon or spa managing an online store properly. So those are some sort of key parameters to start off with. But Sarah, let's get into some of your experiences, and also just some key, I guess, tricks for increasing sales. Specifically, what can salons and spas do to trigger interest and activity on their e-commerce site?
Yeah, so this first one's going to be kind of a no-brainer, because I feel like this is also, in the salon, what seems to work, but offer a limited time promotion. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be a sale. We've done this in a couple of different ways before. Like, we've obviously done, sales where we've done like a gift card promotion where that day only they can get X amount bonus with their gift card purchase. Or we've done, let's say we're clearing out, a specific subline of a product line. We'll do, today only 40% off of these specific products. So you can definitely go the sale route, but we've also done where we've created like beauty boxes. So for example, for Mother's Day one year, what we did was we made custom beauty boxes, and we did like kind of celebrity influences. So in each box, it came with a shampoo, conditioner, treatment, and styling product. And we had these prepackaged as like a limited time offer, but there was actually no discount on any of the products. So we sold everything full price, but just packaging it in a different way made it a little bit more appealing. And that was an actual, like a super successful promotion that we ran. So again, something that is limited time, I feel like is the biggest push, because then even your regular in-salon customers, they're kind of encouraged to shop online instead of rushing into the salon to get that purchase. So it kind of just hits on new and existing clients. So just make sure that you've got that, this from this time to this time, this is the only time you're going to have access to this specific promotion.
Yeah, I love that box idea, because not only is it limited time, but it's limited availability too, right?
Yeah.
Because there's only a certain number, and it's something unique. It's something that they can't get on other sites. It's not just buying a shampoo, right, which you can go to a bunch of different online stores to get. I love that idea. And you can create, I'm sure, different themes throughout the year, and maybe even tie it in to actual staff favorite picks,
Totally.
tie-in accessories. Maybe you include either hair accessories, or sometimes maybe even other items. Throw in a little mini bottle of I don't know, champagne or something that goes along with it, or a coffee kit that also has products. Really great idea.
Yeah, like kind of like taking that idea of adding value as opposed to always discounting. So for those Mother's Day boxes, what we did was we packaged them up in really cute boxes, and they came with gift wrap and everything. So essentially people could just buy that. Again, there was no discount, but they got the fancy wrapping paper. I think they got a, complimentary scrunchie or something like that. So like you said, sky's the limit kind of with the different promotions that you end up going with. But I think it is important just to remember that you don't always need to discount in order for it to be successful. So secondly, and this is another thing that we love doing, is personalizing the shopping experience. So like through your website, you can obviously, collect data and customer behavior insights to kind of personalize the shopping experience. But we also like, and again, with this is awesome, because then they can send, kind of targeted product recommendations when this person is searching on your website. Like that's kind of all the back end stuff. But in terms of like personalizing the shopping experience, what we like to do is every person that purchases from our online shop, we include like a little postcard that essentially just says your order was packaged with love by whoever packaged it. And then sometimes we'll throw in like, a candy or a hair clip or, something just super minimal like that. And on these postcards, what we actually do is we include a discount code for their next online order. So it doesn't have to be anything major. It could just be, get free shipping on your next order or get $10 off your next online order, whatever it might be. But we found that, because we actually started this during COVID. So we had kind of cute little postcards that it was like, we'd like to see you from a distance or whatever it was, kind of something funny. And yeah, it was like a huge hit. And we had a ton of recurring customers because of that extra little discount code. So now we've just kind of continued that. And again, I think it's just like a super cute, simple way to kind of, Amazon isn't sending you a thank you card that's hand signed by whoever packaged it, right? So it just kind of adds a certain je ne sais quoi to it. So.
Love it.
So then, and you kind of touched on this, but I feel like this is something that is super important that needs to be touched on again, but you need to simplify the checkout process. So depending on which platform you're using, you might have options to include Apple Pay or the Shopify Pay or whatever it might be, where they essentially have all of their payment information already inputted and they can just kind of do that. So it's a super quick process and everything like that. But like you said, Scott, like there's nothing more unappealing than when you're trying to make this quick online purchase and you're having to input 100,000 different pieces of information. And by the end of it, you're like, I don't even give a shit. I'll just go to the store and order it. Right. So that is one of the biggest things. And then on top of that too, just to incentivize some sales and everything like that, every once in a while, considering offering free shipping on a certain dollar amount of sale or things like that, just to kind of, again, really push and incentivize actually completing that sale instead of just leaving everything in the cart.
Sure. And I think that should be a standard. Like you should have a standard free shipping with a minimum order, like that's like all the time. And then you can do promotions where sometimes it's maybe, less or, purchase a couple, 3 items and But totally. I think it's good to have a constant free shipping option with a minimum order. Because that's pretty standard with, so many different online shops out there in other industries. You kind of have to do it to be competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. So then the fourth thing that I'm going to bring up is offering custom discount codes for your team members. And also if you have like a salon ambassador or a salon influencer or something like that. So what we found is when we have, the discount codes for our team members, it doesn't need to even actually have a discount associated with it, although obviously that will incentivize more purchases and everything. So even if it's something minimal, like, 10% off or a couple bucks off their order. But I just find that this allows our team, like there's more incentive for them to push retailing online because when their discount code is used, they actually get the commission the same way they would if they sold that product in salon. So I feel like one of the biggest things is, like you said, having one person that kind of mans the online shop, like it is an extension of your business and everything like that. But then also making sure that your team has some skin in the game and they have a reason to be pushing it, because otherwise, why would they be, push online sales if they're not getting anything from it, right? So that's something that we found to be super beneficial. And then same thing, we have a salon ambassador. So she's got a greater following on Instagram and everything like that. So every time somebody uses her discount code, I think it gets them 10% off. Then it goes towards her getting bonus services from the salon as well. So kind of win-win, and you're not really like, look at that 10% as your marketing budget, right? You're putting a couple bucks into getting that sale. And I find that makes a huge difference when our team and our ambassador is involved in pushing online sales.
Love that. And we did a whole podcast episode about influencer marketing and having an ambassador. We'd highly recommend that you go check that out because, ultimately it's how do you push the awareness of your online store beyond your existing salon clients. And if you're just getting your existing salon clients to start buying online instead of buying in the salon, you're just kind of trading, apples for apples. But ultimately, you want to reach new people. So I love what you mentioned about getting, your staff involved because they all have their social media pages. And, if somehow you can channel it so that they are getting the message out there, your reach is expanding. If you have a salon, ambassador or influencer that you're working with, they obviously have a pretty large following. And if you can channel the messaging through them, now they are kind of promoting your online store to their network, which is what's really going to allow you to expand. Ultimately, that's what you need to be thinking about to make an e-commerce site actually successful, is to grow your business outside of your existing clientele. And ultimately, you don't have those geographical limitations anymore, right? With e-commerce, you don't want to be shipping necessarily across the country or internationally, but you can definitely go a lot further than your local community. So these are all things to be really thinking about. I think it's important to recognize again that online shopping is here to stay, and if you want to stay relevant as a business, we think it's important to be thinking about how you can do it, right? Can every single hair salon out there have a successful, online store? Maybe not. Maybe there needs to be some conglomeration, but you definitely need to be thinking about it, because consumers are purchasing more and more products online in general, and that's not going away. So if you're not part of that, you're missing out on that potential opportunity. That's the key message for today. Hope you got some great insights. Hope you think about getting an Eddie. Sarah, put him back on the screen here to help boost your visibility, your likability, your engagement. Eddie makes it all happen.
I was gonna say, how can you not buy from him? Hey.
You go. It's a whole social media advertising campaign right there.
Exactly.
You definitely have a lot of insights. If you have questions, want to bounce some ideas off of either Sarah, or I. Sarah obviously has a lot of experience directly with her salon company. We work with a ton of salons overall, Salon S.O.S, with e-commerce. So feel free to reach out with your questions, comments. We'd be happy to kind of give you a bit of a personalized, sort of strategy session as well, free of charge. So you can reach us, either through our Instagram, so at salon.s.o.s, or through by email, info@salonsos.ca. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we will catch you on our next episode.
Catch you next time.